Before we pry open tonight's haunted can of content, let me offer a massive thank you to all our subscribers, with an extra eerie shout out to the devoted members of the Sinister Elite. You legends are what keeps the darkness breathing. If you're loving the stories and want to go deeper, smash that like button. Be sure you're subscribed, and think about joining the Sinister Elite by clicking that join button below. Members unlock spooky custom emojis and exclusive Sinister Elite badges that rank up the longer you stay alive with us. It's loyalty, but with a chill. All right, lights out, headphones on, let's conjure something we'll all live to regret. My name is Chase, and I truly wish I'd never picked up the night shift at Briarwood Mall. You know the one? That huge, abandoned shopping center with plywood windows, half the lights dead, a food court that smells like freezer burn and pure sadness. Yeah, that's the place. The hiring sign read overnight security guard. Easy money. I should have trusted my gut. Nothing good ever starts with easy money. My first night, I stepped through the staff entrance. The air was stale and warm, like the room had been breathing a little too long. Above the break room door, a sickly yellow fluorescent light flickered. On the wall behind the security desk hung one big laminated sheet. The rules. They were printed in thick, serious black letters. No nonsense, no jokes, music, just this. Rule 1. Do not open any locked doors. Rule 2. Do not answer voices after midnight. Rule 3. Do not enter any store with the lights already on. Rule 4. Do not speak to reflections. Rule 5. Do not run. It attracts attention. Standard mall stuff, really. At least, that's what I kept telling myself. I sat down, clocked in, took a sip of my energy drink. Then the whole building groaned a long, slow creak, like the mall itself was stretching. Waking up. Relax, I said out loud. It's just settling. But then I caught movement on the security monitors. A shadow, tall and thin, drifting past the old Sephora storefront. I leaned closer. The screen glitched, static. When the picture cleared, the hallway was empty. Fantastic. Night 1 and I was already seeing things. I decided to make a patrol. Mostly because sitting still made me feel like prey. The mall had that hollow echo that tricks you into thinking someone's right behind you. My own footsteps bounced off every surface. Somewhere far off, soft music was playing. I swear it sounded like a carousel tune. Slow. Off-key. I passed a locked maintenance door. The sign read authorized personnel only. The handle rattled all on its own. I froze. My heart leapt into my throat. Then I laughed, a nervous, fake sound. Not opening that, I said. Rule number 1. I got it. But then the door knocked. 3 sharp taps, like knuckles. Like something wanted out. I backed away quick. Energy drink number 2 suddenly seemed very necessary. Midnight came a few minutes later. I heard whispering, soft, very close. It sounded like a woman. She said my name, drawn out. Sweet. Chas. I shook my head. Not falling for that. Rule number 2. I checked my watch. 12:07 a.m. perfect. Still 6 hours to go. Plenty of time to lose my mind. As I walked into the food court, something glinted in the corner of my eye. The old Forever 21 had its lights on, bright white, blinding. It had been empty for 10 years. No power, no fixtures, but there it was, lit up like Black Friday. Rule number 3. Do not enter any store with the lights on. I should have walked away. I should have followed the rules, but I'm an idiot and curiosity is basically my brand. So I stepped inside. The moment my shoe crossed the threshold, every light cut off. Pitch black. My flashlight flickered, fought, then finally held a beam. The store was full of mannequins, at least 20, all facing the back wall. All wearing outfits that hadn't been there a minute ago. Bright, fresh, tags still attached. I swallowed hard. Okay. Nope. Not dealing with this. I turned to leave. The mannequins had moved. All of them. Now they were facing me. Hands lifted slightly, like they wanted to reach. I edged toward the exit. Slow. Remembering Rule 5. Do not run. Running attracts attention. One mannequin's head tilted. Bones shouldn't make that sound. Plastic definitely shouldn't. I stepped back into the hallway, shut the gate, locked it. My hands shook. My breath came fast. Then a reflection caught my eye, a glass display case across the hall. Inside the reflection, I saw myself, but not exactly. My reflection was smiling. I wasn't. Its head turned a little too far, a little too slow. It raised a finger to its lips, a shushing gesture. Then it mouthed words. Slow. Clear. Break them all. A cold wave washed over me. My stomach dropped. My reflection lifted its hand again, pointed at the rules on the wall behind me, then pointed at the exit, then back at me. I whispered. What happens if I do? My reflection grinned. A stretched grin, teeth sharp and wrong. I blinked, and it was normal again. Just me, staring back, shaking. That should have been the moment I quit, walked out, went home, changed my name, started over in Nebraska. But instead, I did something worse. I turned, looked right at rule number 1, then walked straight to the nearest locked door and put my hand on the handle. Because I'd decided one thing: if the mall wanted me to follow the rules, I was going to break every single one. And that was my first mistake. I stood in front of the locked maintenance door, the same one that had rattled earlier, the same one that knocked. My hand rested on the handle. Cold metal, too cold, like it had been in a freezer. The rules said not to open locked doors. So, of course, I twisted the handle. It clicked unlocked on the first try. That was my second warning. The door swung inward. A blast of cold air hit me. It smelled damp, like old concrete, and something else, something sweet, almost like rotting fruit. The hallway beyond was narrow, dark, bare concrete walls peeling paint. A faint hum echoed from somewhere deep inside. Low, mechanical, like a generator, but slower, rhythmic, like breathing. My flashlight flickered again. Always a great sign. I stepped inside, slow, careful not to run. Rule 5 still had me scared. If running attracts attention, walking was my only lifeline. The deeper I went, the colder the air got. My breath fogged. My fingers went numb. It felt wrong, a cold that wasn't natural. Cold that was alive. Halfway down the hall, I heard something. A whisper, but not the same voice from before. This one was close. Right behind me. Close the door. I spun around. Nobody there. But the maintenance door at the far end was slowly swinging shut. Not slamming, just easing closed. Soft, steady, like someone invisible had pushed it. The lock clicked. I was trapped inside. A bead of sweat rolled down my neck. Even in the cold. Fear does that. I forced myself forward. The hallway opened into a larger room, a storage area. Metal shelves lined the walls. Boxes piled high. Old mall decorations. Snowflakes. Plastic pumpkins. An Easter bunny head with one missing eye. Perfect nightmare fuel. But the center of the room is what made me stop breathing. A circle of salt was spread across the concrete. Thick. Perfect. Deliberate. In the middle sat a chair. A rope hung from the ceiling above it. But there was no hook, no support. The rope just hung straight down, suspended in air like gravity wasn't invited. On the chair lay a single sheet of paper, crisp and white, neat handwriting. It read, "You shouldn't have opened the door. Break another rule." My stomach twisted. My vision blurred for a second. The mall wanted this. Something inside wanted this. I backed up slowly, not running, not yet. As I moved, the Easter bunny head turned toward me very slowly. Plastic grinding on plastic, its one eye locked onto mine. I whispered, "Oh, hell no." I reached the hallway. The cold thickened. A faint outline appeared at the far end. Tall, long arms. Its fingers brushed the floor. Its head almost touched the ceiling. It didn't walk. It drifted forward. Silent. Wrong. I stepped back into the storage room, closed the door, locked it. Hard breaths shook my chest. Then I heard scratching. Soft, delicate, like fingernails on metal, but the sound came from behind me, from inside the room. I turned around slowly. The rope in the air swayed just a little, like someone had brushed past it. The paper on the chair had changed. New words, asterisk you can't go back. Break the next rule. Asterisk. I grabbed the note, hands trembling. The ink was still wet, like it had been written seconds ago. The scratching grew louder, faster. Music, then it stopped. Dead quiet. My flashlight dimmed, buzzed, then blinked completely off. I stood in pitch darkness, frozen, listening, waiting. Then a voice whispered, inches from my ear. A man's voice, deep, sharp, hungry. Asterisk say something to your reflection. Asterisk my heart dropped. Rule 4. Do not speak to reflections. I shook my head. No. Not doing that. The voice laughed, soft, mocking. Asterisk you broke one rule. You will break them all. Asterisk. I stumbled toward the door, found the handle, twisted. It wouldn't move, locked tight. Something brushed my arm, cold, thin, like a fingertip. I slammed the door with my shoulder. It finally burst open. I sprinted down the hallway. My feet echoed, too loud. And then I realized, music, I was running. Breaking another rule. Rule 5. Do not run. Running attracts attention. I heard something behind me. Fast, heavy, dragging like claws across concrete. I shot out into the main mall hallway, slipped, caught myself, turned. Nothing there, but something whispered through the dark. Not one voice, many, layered, growing. Asterisk you broke another one, chase. Asterisk. I leaned against the wall, breathing hard, trying not to collapse, trying not to panic. And then I looked into a glass display window. My reflection stared back, smiling again, wider, sharper. It opened its mouth and whispered 2 words. Clear. Cold. Asterisk your turn. Asterisk. I stood frozen in front of the glass display window. My reflection stared at me. Its smile too wide, its teeth too sharp, its head tilted at an angle that would snap a real neck. I didn't speak. I wouldn't. Not breaking rule 4. Not yet. But my reflection tapped the inside of the glass. Soft, polite, like it wanted my attention. Asterisk tap. 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 Asterisk the sound echoed down the empty hallway. Too loud for knuckles, too heavy, like bone on glass. Then it mouthed a sentence. Slow, exaggerated, wanting me to understand every syllable. Asterisk break another rule. Asterisk. I stepped back, shaking my head. Nope. Not doing this. Not happening. My reflection mouthed something else. I leaned closer without thinking. A stupid move. I knew better. But curiosity is going to get me killed one day. Its lips moved again. This time the words were clear. Asterisk you already ran. You already opened the door. Finish it. Asterisk. I turned away. Forced myself to walk, not run. My shoes squeaked on the tile. The whole mall felt alive, breathing with me, breathing over me. I headed toward the central atrium, that huge open space where Santa used to sit every December, where kids screamed for ice cream, where teenagers lounged on the fountain ledge trying to look cool. Now the space was empty, echoing, dark, except for one thing. One store right in the center. A store with its lights on. K Jewelers. Every bulb blazing bright, diamond cases sparkling like frost. Rule number 3, do not enter a store with the lights already on. I walked past it as fast as I could without running, but the lights flickered, buzzed, and then the gate slid open by itself. Smooth. Clean. Inviting. A voice drifted out. A woman's voice. Soft, warm, familiar. Asterisk Chase, come here. I found something for you. Asterisk my chest tightened. The voice sounded almost like my ex, sweet enough to hurt. Nope, I said. Not falling for that. I kept walking, but the voice grew sharper, lower, almost angry. Asterisk Chase, get in here. Asterisk. I didn't even look back. I wasn't entering that store. Not again. Not after what the Forever 21 mannequins did. So I headed toward the food court. More open space, more exits, more cameras. My flashlight beam jittered across tables and chairs. Everything felt wrong. Shadows stretched the wrong direction. Chairs faced me even though I hadn't touched them. Then my radio crackled. A soft static hum, followed by a voice. Male, unfamiliar. Asterisk security, report your location. Asterisk I pressed the button. This is Chase. Who is this? No answer. Just breathing. Slow, rhythmic, too close to the speaker. Then the voice whispered, asterisk look behind you. Asterisk. I turned. Slow, deliberate, almost afraid to breathe. At first, nothing. Just the quiet hallway leading back to the atrium. Then I saw movement. My reflection. Standing outside the glass window I'd passed earlier. But I wasn't in front of the window. I was 50 feet away. Yet there it was, my reflection, human-sized, solid, standing in the open hallway. It smiled. Same stretched grin. Same wrong teeth. Then it waved. Slow, playful, mocking. I stumbled back. My heart hammered. My palms slick with sweat. No, 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 no. I blinked hard, but it didn't vanish. It took a step forward, then another. Its footsteps didn't match mine. Its shoulders rolled with each movement. Loose, boneless, predatory. I whipped around and rushed into the closest store. Dark, silent, at least not lit. I pressed myself behind a shelf, trying to control my breathing, trying not to make noise. The reflection stepped into the store entrance. Its head rotated slowly, scanning, searching. Then it spoke. Its voice was wrong, like hearing myself underwater. Asterisk break another rule, Chase. Just one more. Asterisk. I shook my head, tears forming, fear clawing at my ribs. It tilted its head again. Too far. Bones cracked like twigs. Then it whispered, asterisk talk to me. Asterisk rule 4. Do not speak to reflections. The reflection moved deeper into the store, closer. Another step, and another. Its feet made no sound. No footsteps. Just gliding. I backed up. My heel hit something. Glass. A mirror. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. My reflection appeared in the mirror, too. But in the mirror, it was closer. Right behind me, breathing down my neck. I squeezed my eyes shut, shaking, trying to stay silent. But then something touched my shoulder. Cold, soft, like a hand made of fog. I snapped. I couldn't help it. I whispered one word. Asterisk stop. Asterisk. The reflection's smile spread wider, its teeth sharpened, its eyes darkened, and its voice echoed all around me, from the glass, from the mirror, from the air itself. Asterisk you spoke to me. Asterisk the entire store went ice cold. The shelves shook. Lights hummed. The mirror fogged over, and words appeared in it, written by an invisible finger. Asterisk break the last rule. Do not ignore the voices. Asterisk. I backed away, stumbling, my heart pounding, my breath short. Because I finally understood something. This wasn't me fighting them all. This wasn't even the mall haunting me. Something inside the mall asterisk wanted asterisk the rules broken. Every single one. In order. Like steps, like stages, like opening a door inside a door inside a door. And I had just opened almost all of them. Only one rule left. Asterisk do not answer the voices. Asterisk and the voices were already calling my name. The mall fell silent. Not normal silence, not empty building silence. This was the kind that pushes on your ears. Thick, heavy, alive. And then the voices started. Not one, not two, hundreds, whispering my name, layered, stacked, flowing through every vent, every hallway. Asterisk Chase. Chase, come here. Chase, help us. Asterisk. Every voice sounded familiar. Some warm, some desperate, some broken. Some sounded like people I knew. People who weren't alive anymore. Rule 5 was already gone. I ran, hard, fast. Didn't care anymore. Didn't matter. Something already knew where I was. I sprinted through the dark store, dodging shelves, slamming through the emergency exit into the main hallway. My footsteps echoed like gunshots. Sharp, loud, wrong. The voices grew louder, stronger, more insistent. Chase, we're waiting. Chase, please answer. Chase, don't leave us again. Again. What did that mean? I didn't stop to think. I just kept running. My lungs burned. My legs ached. But the fear kept me moving. I reached the food court. The lights flickered overhead. Tables scraped across the floor, moving on their own, sliding into new positions. A circle. A perfect circle. Like they were forming some ritual space. In the center of the circle sat a phone, an old mall phone, bright yellow cord tangled. The light on it blinked red, fast, urgent. Ring. 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 The voices formed into one, a single, unified call. Chase, answer. My hands shook. My heart pounded. This was the final rule. The last line I wasn't supposed to cross. Do not answer the voices. But the phone rang again, louder, sharper. The tables shook. The lights buzzed. The mall trembled, like something inside it was waking up. The phone rang a fourth time. And everything went still. Like the whole building was holding its breath. I stepped closer, drawn in, my heartbeat sinking with the blinking red light. One flash, one thump. Again. Again. My hand hovered over the receiver. If I answered, that was it. No rules left, no protection, no boundaries. I swallowed hard. Tears burned in my eyes. Fear tasted like metal. Don't do it, I whispered to myself. Don't fall for this. But then the phone spoke without ringing. A single voice, soft, sad, broken. A voice I knew better than any other. Chase. It's Mom. My chest collapsed. Air punched out of my lungs. My throat tightened. My vision blurred. That wasn't fair. That wasn't right. My mom had been gone for 5 years. The phone whispered again. Please, baby, answer me. I clenched my jaw, trembling, shaking from my bones out. No, I said. No, you're not her. But the voice sobbed, soft, familiar, perfect. Oh, honey, I'm scared. Talk to me, please. I broke. I couldn't hold the wall anymore. My fingers closed around the receiver. Slow, unavoidable. I lifted it to my ear, but I didn't speak. I wasn't going to break the last rule that easily. The voice on the line breathed deep, uneven, wet, not human, not real. Then it whispered, you already broke it, Chase. My blood turned to ice, cold, suffocating, crushing. How? I whispered, barely audible, barely breath. The voice laughed, low, hungry, triumphant. You answered when you picked up. The lights exploded overhead, showering sparks. The tables flew outward, slamming into walls. The floor cracked, a fissure splitting down the middle of the food court. Dark air poured out of the crack, thick, alive, like smoke with weight. The voice kept speaking, but now it wasn't Mom. It wasn't anyone I knew. It was something ancient, something hungry, and something free. You broke every rule, it said. You opened every door. A distant rumble shook the ground. The tiles rippled. The vents screamed. My reflection appeared again in every shiny surface. Hundreds of them, all smiling, all watching. You let us out. They whispered in perfect unison. The smoke surged upward, forming shapes, hands, faces, bodies twisting out of shadow, tall, thin, wrong. And the voice spoke one last time, loud enough to shake the entire mall. Now you must finish what you started. The phone melted in my hand. Dripping black tar, burning cold. I dropped it, stumbled back, barely holding myself up. Something rose from the crack, huge, dark, shifting. A creature made from shadow and bone. Its teeth glowed like broken glass. Its eyes burned white. It looked at me, directly at me, and it said my name. Clear, slow, certain. Chase. The creature towered over me. A mass of shadow, bone, teeth like shattered glass, eyes glowing white. It stared down as if it had waited centuries for me. The floor around the crack pulsed, alive, breathing. Every exhale sent waves of cold up my legs. My skin burned, my breath smoked, my fingers went numb. Behind me, the reflections watched. Hundreds of copies of me, all smiling, all leaning forward like an audience waiting for a show to start. The creature stepped out of the fissure, its limbs stretched long, its fingers dragging across the tile. Where it touched, the floor rotted, dark veins spreading outward, fast, hungry. I stumbled backward. My voice barely worked. What? What do you want? It tilted its massive head. Bones cracked like tree branches breaking. The shadows around it fluttered. Faces appeared in them, people screaming, people crying, people begging. Then 1,000 voices spoke through the creature at once. Deep, layered, ancient. We want the same thing you wanted. I shook my head, my heart pounding so loud I felt it in my teeth. What is that? The shadows around the creature rippled. The fissure widened. The more lights flickered. My reflections leaned closer from every surface, all of them answering the same way. A way out. The creature extended one limb, a hand, if you could call it a hand. Long fingers, black smoke dripping from the tips. It moved closer. Slow, purposeful. You opened every door. The voices said. You broke every rule. You set us free. I trembled. My vision blurred. I tasted metal. Fear. Exhaustion. Regret. I screamed, why me? The creature stopped moving. The smoke shifted, forming shapes, letters, a sentence hovering in the air. You were the first to listen. I didn't understand. Not at first. But then the reflections stepped out from the surfaces. Not just images, not illusions, actual figures, copies of me. Some taller, some twisted, some smiling with too many teeth. They circled me, slow, swaying, humming a tone that vibrated my bones. The creature lowered its head until its burning white eyes were level with mine. You obeyed the call. You opened the locks. You answered the voices. You spoke to the reflection. The air tightened around me like invisible hands squeezing my lungs. I dropped to my knees, choking, gasping. The creature leaned closer, its teeth inches from my face. The cold pouring off, it felt like ice water crawling under my skin. Now you finish the cycle. It whispered. You become the warning. My eyes widened. No, no, no. The voices rose around me, louder, harsher. A chorus of chaos shaking the entire building. The reflections stepped even closer, reaching, touching my shoulders, my arms, my back. Cold fingers sinking through my shirt like I wasn't fully solid. You didn't break the rules. They whispered. You replaced them. The creature opened its jaws. Shadow poured out, wrapping around me, pulling me in, squeezing, crushing, reshaping. I screamed. Not from pain, from understanding. They weren't punishing me. They were transforming me. My vision went white, then black, then something else entirely. A place that wasn't a place, a void of voices and reflections and doors and rules. When my sight returned, I wasn't on the mall floor anymore. I was standing inside the glass display window I had looked into earlier, except I wasn't a reflection. I was the thing behind the glass. Watching. Waiting. Smiling, a smile that didn't belong to any human. I tried to speak, to scream, to beg, but the only sound that came out was a whisper. Smooth, cold, patient. Break the first rule. My hand lifted on its own. Tap the glass. 3 soft taps. Calling out, inviting, waiting for the next guard, the next fool, the next person who thought the rules didn't matter. And the creature's last words echoed inside my skull. You are the warning now. I smiled. A wide, impossible smile. And somewhere deep inside the mall, A new sign appeared on a wall. A fresh set of rules, still warm from the ink. Because the cycle had reset. Because something new was hunting. Because I wasn't Chase anymore. I was the thing you see in the glass. The thing waiting for you to break the rules. I was the consequence.